everyone, and thanks for joining Action Potential again for yet another Facebook Live. I like to call this installment the pre-happy hour, since it's not quite happy hour yet, and it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So what we decided to do is like 10-minute tips on some things that could help you out at home. Today I decided to talk about the best posture while sitting at your desk, specifically for those of us that have unplanned started working from home or schooling our kids from home. A little bit later, I have a special guest joining us to demonstrate the little tykes or the little guys sitting at the desk while schooling from home. So first of all, most of us may be working from home now very unexpectedly, which means that we don't have a proper desk or work setup. I was lucky enough to have a folding table, and before we closed the clinic, I stole an adjustable chair, knowing I was probably gonna need it. But we only have one kid's desk at home, so Kane and I share the same workspace. You could be working at your raised kitchen countertop with bar stools as your chair, or an oversized dining room table with super deep, really not posturally efficient chairs. So I'm going to talk to you. My goal today is to teach you the best posture to put your body in, and then how to accommodate your environment to hold you there. So I'm going to go first, and then we'll get to the kids second. But first, you want to get yourself a nice sturdy chair. So instead of being on the couch reclined with our laptop on our lap, we can only maintain this posture consistently for about 2 days before you're going to end up calling me with neck, back, or shoulder pain. All right, so you want to get yourself some kind of sturdy chair, either a dining room chair. If you have a bar stool with a back. The first tip is, I want to become famous for it, but it's a saying called crack to crack. I want you to bend forward, nestle your butt crack all the way back into the crack of the chair. What that does is it helps set my pelvis in a nice level position. It allows my spine to stay straight, stacked on top of it, and my shoulder is in line with my hip, or right on top of my hip. This just automatically makes my shoulders and my neck go into a nice straight posture position. Then I want to think about my seat. Okay, I want my hips slightly higher than my knees and my feet flat on the floor. Okay, if I were to go down and sit in maybe a little kid's chair that was lying around my basement, I would eventually go into this rounded back position because my knees are forcing me to roll out my lower spine. So you want to make sure, if that's your only choice, you're putting some pillows on top so that your hips are coming higher than your knees. Okay? So again, we're going to go crack to crack so I can get my shoulders aligned straight over my hips, my feet are flat on the floor, and my knees are slightly lower than my hips. A mystery guest, please stop with the pillow. All right, so now I'm going to scoot myself underneath my desk. If I stay way back out here, I'm going to get into that rounded back position. So I need to scoot myself under my desk so my feet are flat on the floor. In this position, my upper arm stays pretty vertical and relaxed with my trunk. This way, my hands can relax my elbows at about a 90-degree angle, give or take a little, and I can type here at my computer comfortably. My mouse isn't all the way out to the side, so I get into this laid back posture. My mouse, I'm going to pull nice and close to my body so that my back arm or my mouse hand, my upper arm can also stay relaxed vertical with my body. And I'm within my workspace here without having to move my shoulders that much. A disadvantage of using a laptop is that I don't really have the ability to adjust my screen. You do want your monitor to be at about eye level or just below. So with the laptop, I just have to tilt my screen a bit and change my posture, just kind of like stretch my neck throughout the day, shake out my shoulders. Okay, so what if we said, Kathy, I wasn't as lucky as you to steal an adjustable chair from work? And I would say, go get your large, bulky, oversized dining room chair. And if I sit in this chair and I start putting my crack back to the crack of the chair, the seat depth is a little bit too wide. It's banging on the back of my knees. So I'm going to scoot forward over time and get into that rounded back. Even if I scoot my tush all the way back and sit up straight so my shoulders are over my hips, the chair isn't supporting my back, so I'm not going to stay here for a long period of time. I'm going to go into a slouch. So I can just grab a pillow from the living room and basically build the back of the chair out a little bit, scoot my crack to crack, and then I sit up tall, shoulders are aligned over hips, and now my back is supported. So I'm gonna be encouraged to hold that posture a little bit longer. Again, I either scoot my chair or pull my desk underneath of me, and I can work in this environment. All right, so my guest for the day is Kane Dixon. He is a 7-year-old who's a first grader at East Bradford Elementary, and he wasn't planning on doing the rest of his school year from home either. Come on in, Kane. Put on his favorite sweatshirt for you guys. So Kane and I share the same desk throughout the day because Liam got the only kid desk that we have. And he likes to sit in this rolling chair, obviously because it moves all over the place and it irritates me in about 30 seconds. So Kane and I have worked on having better posture because as you can see, the depth of the chair is too much for him, so he doesn't sit back all the way. So he gets into this slouched, kind of forward head, kicking leg position. So the way I build up this chair for him, and the height of the chair, I can't bring it down to the floor so his feet touch the floor because then the table would be too high. So let's start and get our pelvis set first. Kane, bend forward for me. Good, we're gonna build the chair up. Now scoot your crack back to the crack of the chair. Perfect, so you can see his pelvis is level and his shoulders are now aligned over his hips. I'm gonna scoot him under the table. At first, I grabbed this gray stool to put under his feet, but what happened was it was a little too high. It pulled his knees higher than his hips, and he went into that rounded back position. So I looked around to see what I had, and I had this basket full of cleaning supplies, and I'm gonna turn that upside down and put that on the floor under his feet. So now, his feet can sit still. Kane, put your crack to your crack. Scooch back, good. Feet flat on the box. And you can see his hips are higher than his knees, feet are flat, his arms relaxed, and automatically his neck stays straight instead of being in that forward head position. This is really important for our kids in helping to prevent scoliosis, eye strain, neck strain, just because they're not used to being in front of a computer this much throughout the day. So, and again, Kane lasts about, 20 seconds, maybe 20 minutes sometimes in this position. However, once I've set up his environment, I can be like, Kane, crack to crack, feet flat. And we've already achieved a better position than maybe what we would have started out on while on the couch. So again, with the kids, you may not have something like this lying around, but you can set yourself up at the kitchen table. Even sometimes with the little guys, you can still use those toddler chairs and put them under an end table in your living room if you're hurting for a desk space. But I don't know about you, but when I sit at my desk with good posture, I tend to concentrate more, and then I don't complain as much about my neck hurting or my shoulders hurting. So if you have any questions or concerns about this issue, please send me a Facebook message, or you can always email us at actionpotential@reachyours.com. Thanks, and have a great Tuesday night.